So a capital allocator, explain what that job is in the world. And do you have any, I was thinking about this today when I was in the shower. I was like, where did this concept of capital allocators even originate from? We know about carry, and that when, ships used to go to the, what was then called the Orient, or to India to get spice or whatever, somebody would say, hey, listen, if you get the package back here, I'll give you 20% of whatever makes it back to shore. You get carry, you get a portion of what comes back, and that aligned interest. So we know that piece. Where did the concept of a capital allocator even come from?
Yeah, I think it's relatively new. If I go back, I started my career in 1992. And just to give you a perspective, at the time, there were no more than a half a dozen of these offices in the country. And I think I was the only junior analyst looking at funds in the entire country. Like Yale used to hire one undergrad a year. And so Harvard had an office, but they were mostly direct investing, and Stanford had an office, but there were 4 or 5, senior people. There are very, very few of them. The reason I think it's come to pass kind of goes hand in hand with the notion of modern portfolio theory, in that if you have a large pool of capital and you're trying to preserve and grow it for a long period of time, and there's spending needs along the way, people have adopted the notion that you want to be diversified. And so the question is, if you are 4 or 5 people, maybe it was 10 or 12 back then and a little more today, but you're 4 or 5 people sitting in New Haven, Connecticut, and you want to diversify around the world, you have 2 options, right? One is you could say, okay, let's go figure out how to compete with Jason and all the other seed stage venture capitalists, and we'll compete with Sequoia. And then let's go to Asia, and we'll pick Chinese stocks. And oh, by the way, we probably want to be in large cap and small cap stocks in the US, and equity and credit. Oh, we need expertise in the bond markets. At some point in time, your head starts spinning and say, well, we can do one of 2 things. We can either try to compete with an increasingly specialized world, or we can just go try to identify them. Let's develop our skill set at trying to identify the best and partner with them. And that became a model that went hand in hand with this kind of strategy, and really got popularized when David Swensen wrote his kind of seminal book called Pioneering Portfolio Management in 2000. And then you started to see proliferation of more of these offices and more LPs in these strategies.
And so the clear path to becoming a capital allocator at one of these endowments was to have been an alumni of that place for some reason. Is that correct?
I mean, I suppose, right? One of the things that's interesting about my show is when I interview a bunch of these CIOs, there is no clear path, because the fact is the industry didn't exist 20 years ago. So how could you have been trained in it?
Yes, that makes total sense. It's like asking for somebody to be like an AR developer. It's like, or, an AI developer. Well, AI has been existing for 30 years, but yes, people were like, I need a iPhone app developer with 5 years experience when the App Store had just came out. People would put up ads for that kind of stuff. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.